welcome to the very first podcast. You are the very
Yeah.
first person.
I
It's
know.
exciting.
Crazy.
How and why did you become a buyer's agent?
2018, I was a real estate agent. I realized that when I was in my job, I was great at buyer work. I decided in 2020 when COVID lockdown happened
Yeah.
and they were giving out redundancies, I'm going to take redundancy and I'm going to look at being a buyer's agent.
Your journey to get to this point is really interesting, and the adversity that you've had to overcome in order to become this badass boss woman that I know and love and adore. It wasn't an easy one, and you make it seem so seamless. Like, I have a bad headache and I cry about it for a week. Tell our listeners a bit about, where you come from and
Yeah.
why you stand here today and we're, able to have this conversation.
Obviously I've shared that I have been homeless when I was a teenager. So I wasn't meant to be, I was just meant to be one of those statistics that was living off Centrelink. There's always hardships that people all go through, and it's all about mindset and trying to do better and be better. And that was what I was aiming for. And I think a lot of my, adversities, how I've been able to come out of it was because I had children as a teenager. I was 16. I had no choice. I had to provide for these kids. I decided to become a nurse, and my parents always wanted me to have, the degree and get a job that is, respected. After nursing, I ended up opening up a business. I ended up opening a dance studio. Near the end of it, I was almost $100,000 in debt.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. I ended up selling the business. Chrissy, one of the real estate agents that we know, she said, "Oh, come and sit through the sales meeting." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll just see what it's about," right? Didn't have any idea. So clueless.
Yeah.
And I remember going to Chris Galatos, our director, put up a chair and I go, "That chair's mine. I'm not leaving. I'm here to learn."
I can see you just walking in being like, so that's my seat. No one can sit here.
That's how my real estate journey has, evolved and what I've done in the past. But they all come back to wanting to help people. Whatever way I can, that was my goal. And that is what is at the core of it. Being able to help people in some form in their life.
It's incredible. And, just from knowing you the last few years, the growth, the exponential growth from where, we were 3 years ago to where you are now, and the confidence you have out there in the marketplace, like your clients genuinely know that you care about, them in that process, and you genuinely want to get them the best result. Where did Okaeri come from for us?
The proper pronunciation is obviously Okaeri, but we've also given people that option if they can't say it, Okaeri, like Hey Siri. And the meaning is welcome home in Japanese, and it's really what we're all about, right? The journey of buying a home to the final stage where we hand deliver them the keys and say, "Welcome home. We found you your home."
Buying property is such a personal thing. It's not about us. Like, it's about the client and their journey. What can a buyer expect during the first meeting with you?
What they can expect with me when they first meet me is clarity. When I meet my clients, I kind of want to know what their journey has been like before they came to see me. So I want to know what they've been doing, where they've been looking at, why they're here, have they been missing out on properties? Because oftentimes they don't come to see us unless there's some pain points. So I want to know what those pain points are. Then we go through your requirements, your budgets, the locations. I also want to know why they're moving from where they are to where they want to go, because everyone's goal is different, whether you're a first home buyer, you're a family, you're a downsizer. Then I can customize and tailor their search. And when I'm looking at homes, it gives me a different perspective for each client as well. And then we go through what the process is for our clients, and we go through the packages, because every client wants different things, and we have to customize those packages to them.
Yeah. Why would a buyer that's actively looking in the marketplace engage a buyer's agent?
For many reasons, but the top main reasons that we come across is that they have missed out on opportunities countless times, and they've become disheartened, and they are frustrated with that process. So they need an expert on their side. They're often time poor. Nobody has all the time in the world to go through all the properties on a Saturday. So it's a full-time job. Those are the main things that people will use a buyer's agent for, and it's when they want to accelerate their search, especially if they've been looking for 6 to 12 months. Like, God, I would hate to be looking for a property that long. Your interstate and international purchases that can't actually be in Sydney, and they need somebody on the ground searching for them. So those are the reasons why most buyers will use a buyer's agent.
And also, you know, if you've never been through the process of buying property, right? You don't know where to start, where it ends, you know, you're totally green. You just want someone to help hold your hand along.
I just had a client that was absolutely green in her journey, and she had no idea what the buying process looked like. All she had was a vision to buy a home for herself. And no idea how to look for a home, what to look out for, didn't know how to negotiate. And the first thing she did was not try to do it herself. She engaged a buyer's agent.
What do you do differently that other, you know, the buyers can't effectively do themselves in the process?
A story I can share is the client that I have now at the moment, before he engaged us, he was going out on Saturdays trying to like coordinate all the inspections that were on at the same time. So he had 8 to 10. And on the weekdays, he was trying to get into properties during his lunch breaks. He said to me, the difference now is that you can go and see all the properties for me during the week, and you send me the videos. I'm on the couch, I go through the videos, I pick which I like, and then on Saturday he only has 2 to 3 to see, and it saves him so much time and gives him his Saturdays back to then go out with his friends and spend time with his family. So that's what we do differently. We're professional negotiators. We do this for a living, because what we have in our heads is so many different experiences of how to negotiate. So we can quickly think on our feet if we need to change strategies. There are times when agents will say, this is how I'm going to run the negotiation. And then you're in the middle of the negotiation, and then they change the goalpost. So being able to think quickly and pivot is so important. And unless you're doing it day in, day out, you're not going to know how to best strategize. And because we've got the relationship with the agents and we understand how they work, we can always adapt.
What do you look out for when you go through opens?
I am going on Google Maps and thinking about my client's brief. So I just want to make sure that, you know, it's not near a highway. Then I look at whether it's near parks and cafes and restaurants and whatnot. Once I'm making my way to see the property, I'm also looking at what the drive is like to get in there. Is it warm and welcoming? Does it have appeal? Because I want to make sure that when, you know, my clients are walking home, that they feel safe, especially if it's just a single young female, or if the kids are walking, are they going to walk through a laneway to get to their home? I'm looking at the street itself, and I'm looking at the houses as well.
And what about internally? Like just, you know, bullet points, what are the things that if you were a buyer, you'd never walked through a property before, you didn't know what to look out for?
Yep.
What would you say these are the things I recommend you?
Key things. I'm looking at the outlook.
Yeah.
When I'm going through the home, I'm looking at the flow. So the floor plan, does it feel like it's open, living, dining, kitchen? Also depends on the client's brief.
Yeah.
Natural light is so important. The condition of the home. Sometimes clients want something moved in ready. Some clients want to do some work. So, and just major structural issues, if there is any. So I just want to bear that in mind. Noise.
Yeah.
Is it quiet inside? Is it quiet or noisy outside?
Yeah. How do you get access to off-market?
I think of it as a game. So think of like the childhood book, Where's Wally, right? God, it's telling my age, right? So when you open the book and you're trying to find Wally, you have to go through all these other different Wallies.
Yeah.
Those other Wallies are agents that I'm calling constantly.
Yeah.
We do have a database with hundreds and hundreds of agents. And I mean, the East alone has like 400 agents.
560.
No regular buyer is going to call 500 agents. We do that.
Any advice you want to share with anyone that chooses to listen to us?
My biggest piece of advice that I can give to anyone that's out there looking to start their property journey is don't wait for the market to drop.
Yeah.
We don't know when the market's going to drop until it actually happens. So you might miss out on that property that was within budget. And now, because you've waited, you have to find another 100,000. And we've seen that happen. Choosing the right advice and where it's coming from as well is important, because you don't want to seek advice from somebody that doesn't know what they're doing or hasn't done it in 20, 30 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
And there you have it. Kelly and Okaeri Buyers Advocates, thank you for coming to us.